Today I'm going to be making biscuits and gravy, but I'm going to be using some British scones. So to me, these scones look a lot like our American biscuits. So I'm going to try it to see if it's actually similar to biscuits and gravy using the British scones. So for the gravy recipe, I will be using my mom's recipe, and I will type this up and put it in the description box below so you can read it and follow along if you decide to make this. And also I'll be making the sausage, but I have a copycat Jimmy Dean recipe that I'll be using as well, which I'll put a link to in the description box as well. So let's try this out. So for the pork, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1/2 teaspoon of dried parsley, 3/4 teaspoon of ground sage, 1/4 teaspoon of fresh coarse ground pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander, and 1/8 teaspoon of oregano. I'm just going to mix this up here. I'm using this pork sausage meat. Found it at the store. Don't usually find it at the store. Usually have just ground pork and use that for the sausage meat, and I put the spices in that. So I'm going to try this today. Now that it's mixed, I'm just going to add it to the pan with some of that chili oil, and then I'm going to fry it until it's done cooking. So here I'm adding the 2 cups of milk. So I'll slowly add this and bring it to a simmer. So now I'm adding the 2 tablespoons of corn flour to the last 1/4 cup of milk and just stirring it together to make a thin paste, which will then help thicken the gravy. And once that's added, we'll stir constantly until this comes to a boil again, and then we'll simmer this for 1 minute. Quality control check. So these are the British scones that I'm going to be using. They're plain, but they are a little bit sweet. So they're a little bit sweeter than the American biscuit, even though they look almost identical. I would say they're just a little bit shorter, but our American scones are usually triangle shaped. So I'll just cut these in half, and then I will heat them up in the microwave for a little bit to get warm, and then I will just put butter on top before putting on the gravy. And there you go. Some people like to add a fried egg on top, or cheese, but I don't do that. So there's the finished dish.
of biscuits and gravy on British scones. If you decide to make this, I hope you enjoy it.